Alright, so welcome back to the channel, y'all. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on this channel. I told y'all that Lizzo is going to be hit in the pockets. See, the kind of accusations that Lizzo's former dancers have against her, those are the kind of accusations that big brands do not want to be associated with, even if you're yelling, they're lying. They're lying. I swear to God, they're lying. Guess what? The big brands, they're like, we can't take the chance. I'm sorry. We're going to have to let you go and go with somebody else. I mean, to be out here getting them big old checks, I'm talking about the hundreds of thousands of dollars checks and the $1 million checks. In order for you to be doing that, you got to be pretty much squeaky clean. Because one bad rap and you go down, but their brand goes down with you. You got to understand that. So I said it, and so it is. Here's a follow-up. Now the headline says that, according to Vibe, Lizzo reportedly dropped from Super Bowl consideration amid lawsuit from ex-employees. And if y'all been following my other videos on this, you know this is my third video. Right? The first video was when the story broke. The second video is how they went public. I think they did about 7 interviews on major network like Channel 7 News, like CNN, and these types of networks. They did a bunch of big interviews so far. So this thing is picking up steam. It's gaining publicity. A lot of people got their eyes on it. And a lot of people who have worked with her in the past have come forward. You would have thought they came forward to support her, to say, nah, she's not like that. These girls are just disgruntled because they were fired. No. These people have come forward to back the dancers who are accusing and suing Lizzo. So it kind of seems like, yeah, if it ain't even like that, there's something close to that happened. Lizzo was reportedly being considered as a performer for the 2024 Super Bowl halftime show. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but Super Bowl halftime show, we were told that usually an artist pays their own money to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. I thought that was where they got paid the big bucks, like $1 million in one performance. And we learned from Rihanna doing her Super Bowl halftime performance that these artists come up out their own pockets to perform. So is it really something that will hurt Lizzo? Probably yes. Why? Because after Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime performance, her sales in her Fenty brand and whatever else she had going on, her music, even everything just skyrocketed. This is why these artists pay for that slot to perform there. It is like a huge jolt of promotion that cannot be had anywhere else. But amid pending rumors, her name has allegedly been dropped from the conversation. Nope, we don't want her, not even on the list for conversation. The Grammy-winning singer has been accused by her ex-employees of sexual harassment and fat shaming, as well as creating a hostile environment for her employees to work in. According to Daily Mail, an unnamed source stated that talk to Lizzo being a part of the halftime festivities or performing the national anthem, those talks are dead. Now that she is surrounded by this scandal and her team is desperately trying to come up with a strategy to save her sinking ship. This is what Daily Mail said. Her team is desperately trying to come up with a strategy to save her sinking ship. Man, it's becoming more and more difficult with more people coming forth accusing her of extremely inappropriate acts. The statement continued. it says that Lizzo has raked in a massive amount of money, but her minute is pretty much up. It seems, and no one knows if she'll be able to recover from this. If she speaks out, her statements are shredded. If she stays quiet, she is called a coward. So she is between a rock and a hard place. She is in a win, lose, lose, lose situation. If she speaks up, her statements are shredded. She's attacked for anything she says. And if she stays quiet, there goes the comments. Oh, she's got something to hide because why is she not speaking up? She's going to have to fight her way up out of this one. I have a strong feeling, though, that she'll be all right. I don't know if she'll be able to rake those corporate dollars in like before, but she'll be all right. Either way, it does not appear at this moment that she can recover from this. Well, it just started. See, Lizzo attends the 2019 American Music Award at Microsoft Theater on November 24th of 2019 in Los Angeles, California. Lizzo found herself in the center of a scandal earlier this month when her former backup dancer Crystal Williams, Ariana Davis, and Noel Rodriguez filed a lawsuit claiming weight shaming and sexual harassment at work. Since then, 6 more have come forward about similar complaints. I want to put you in the mind of somebody. Think Bill Cosby. Think of how long ago these situations allegedly happened with Bill Cosby. And then think about how Bill Cosby was done. They didn't care if he had hundreds of millions of dollars. They didn't care if he was the Jell-O pudding man. They didn't care of his squeaky clean image, Dr. Huxtable. They didn't care if he told clean jokes with kids. They didn't care if he was a senior citizen who was halfway blind by now. They didn't care if he was a cultural icon. They threw Bill Cosby in prison. What do you think is going to happen to Lizzo? I'm not saying she's going to get thrown in prison. I'm just saying she can lose a lot, including her fame. Her platform can be snatched and those corporate checks. According to NBC News, the 6 accusers toured with Lizzo as dancers and staff on her Amazon Studio show. Complaints also included failure to pay her employees. The initial lawsuit came after dancer Davis, Williams, and Rodriguez sat down with Good Morning America. Remember, I told y'all they've been on about 7 different platforms. Good Morning America is a huge platform. Somebody invited them up there and said, let's talk about the Lizzo story. So what that tells you is from inside, nobody is trying to protect Lizzo. Because if you're one of those people that they're trying to protect, people like CNN and Good Morning America, they wouldn't have your accusers up there airing you out. So Good Morning America had them on there last week where they dished about the 35-year-old star Lizzo. Lizzo, who was branded herself as a body positive activist, was accused of firing one dancer on the spot in front of everyone for gaining a little bit of weight. But I think she said that ain't what it was about. It was about something else. I know it's alarming to hear that Lizzo, a plus-size woman who preaches body positivity, would be fat-phobic, essentially. But I want to challenge people to understand that hurt people hurt people. This is what Davis said in her interview, right? Rodriguez shared a time when Lizzo allegedly threatened to physically assault her. She said that she basically started to ball up her fist and crack her knuckles like she was going to punch the daylights out of me. And she was like, you're so effing lucky right now. And she's like inching her way towards me, she recalls. The former backup dancer then claimed that Lizzo's best friend had to physically restrain her from her trying to assault her. Davis also alleged that Lizzo pressured her into touching a nude performer at a sex show in Amsterdam's red light district. She took them to some event where the performers inside of that event were butt bookie ass naked, and the people who came to watch were able to interact with the performers, touch their body parts and all kinds of stuff like that. And Lizzo was over there ordering them, touch it. You better touch it. And I don't want to, but they had to. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Lizzo visits Sirius XM's The Howard Stern Show at Sirius Studio on December 12, 2022 in Los Angeles, California. She started a chant, said, after I said no multiple times. Listen, she started a chant after I said no multiple times. This is what Davis claims, sharing that Lizzo began to chant her name, Ari, 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 over and over and over. I felt pressured, so I briefly touched the performer and withdrew my hand. And you know, everyone kind of burst out into laughter because me, of all people, they thought it was funny that I was touching this performer because I'm definitely not that kind of person. Our jobs are always being threatened. Always. I personally never had job security this whole entire time, Davis said. Davis and Williams were eventually fired, while Rodriguez decided that she was just going to resign on her own. No need to fire me. I seen what you did to the other two and I don't like it, so I'm resigning myself. And this is what makes this case hard. See, the third person that's backing them up, Rodriguez wasn't fired. So she doesn't have a reason to be bitter. It's not like, oh, you let me go and I don't know why. She watched what happened according to her claim. Allegedly, she watched what happened to the others. She witnessed it. And in solidarity with them after they were fired, she said, I'm out of here because I'm not going through this myself. Lizzo responded to the disgraceful allegations with a statement earlier this month. Her statement said, these last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous to not be addressed. Man, I personally think that she is getting hit left, right, and center, and it's affecting her brand. So this ain't just old false allegations that I'm going to ignore. This is starting to affect my bottom line, which is my money. That's what I think's going on. The sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told that their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. As an artist, I have always been very passionate about what I do. I take my music and my performances seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work and high standards. Something I have to make hard decisions, but it's never my intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable or like they aren't valued as an important part of my team. Lizzo, again, I'm not here to be looked at as a victim, but I also know that I'm not a villain that people in the media have portrayed me to be these last few days. She says that people and the media, which means she is starting to feel like she is no longer media darling. She is starting to feel like the media itself has turned against her, has joined forces with these people who are accusing her. She said, I am not here to be looked at as a victim, but I also know that I am not the villain that people and the media have portrayed me to be these last few days. I'm very open with my sexuality and expressing myself, but I cannot accept or allow people to use that openness to make me out to be something that I am not. There is nothing I take more seriously than the respect we deserve as women in the world. I know what it feels like to be body shamed on a daily basis, and I would absolutely never criticize or terminate any employee because of their weight. Unprofessional. I'm hurt, but I will not let the good work I've done in the world be overshadowed by this. I want to thank everyone who has reached out in support to lift me up during these difficult times. Well, Lizzo has failed her own brand. This is Ron Zambrono, the attorney that is representing the dancers, released a statement to Fox 11 in response to Lizzo's statement. I don't know who Lizzo pissed off in the industry, but they're coming for her. Lizzo has failed her own brand and has let down her fans. Her denial of this reprehensible behavior only adds to our client's emotional distress. The dismissive comments and utter lack of empathy are quite telling about her character and only serve to minimize the trauma that she has caused the plaintiffs and other employees who have now come forward sharing their own negative experiences. Now, while Lizzo notes that it was never her intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable, that is exactly what she did, to the point of demoralizing her dancers and flagrantly violating the law. Man, listen, she's already getting dropped from Super Bowl 2024 consideration for halftime performers. I'm sure, I believe she was supposed to be on Jay-Z's Made in America concert, which was canceled abruptly, but there were rumors out that she was dropped from it before it was canceled altogether. And I'm pretty sure that there are going to be some more sponsors out there and some more arenas out there and some more brands out there that are going to be disassociating themselves as this thing blows up. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll see what happens next. But I know that it's going to be hitting her in the pockets for sure. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Do you believe these allegations? Or do you think that this is a witch hunt? Or do you think that they are after her money? You know, I remember Biggie said, more money, more problems, man. Yeah, the more money you get, the more problems you get. I'll catch y'all on the next video. I'm out. Peace.